and welcome back to Farmstead TV. This is our 8th tournament and we are in round 5. I'm playing against Roy. Roy is playing with an Erhnamgeddon deck and I'm playing with my blue-green control deck. So let's take a look at my deck first. You can see here I have 4 Mace of It. I can use those to make them overcommit to the table. When I have put out a bunch of creatures, I can use a drop of honey to clear the table. While the table is clearing, I can play clay statue, copy artifact, factories, and so on. And when the table is cleared, I can go on the offensive. I also have a bunch of counter magic. I have Candelabra. Candelabra is pretty cool in this deck. You can use it to untap your maces to remove multiple attackers. You can also use it for color fixing. If you lack a blue, you can tap a green and untap a blue, so you can have 2 blue mana for a counter spell, for example. And you can also use the Candelabra to make your factories bigger. Or perhaps draw another card with Library of Alexandria. So I really like the Candelabra in this list. I've tried a bunch of different versions with this deck. In this list I decided to test the Ivory Tower in the main deck. And the copy artifact is also new. Before I had a Hamuti Djinn and some air elementals just to have a finisher. So this is what I'm testing out for this tournament. So let's take a look at my opponent's list. And this is my opponent's deck. It's an old classic deck called Erhnamgeddon. In our play group we are allowed to play with the Scrying expansion set. And I think this is a good example of a deck that benefits greatly from Scrying. He have put in a playset of Quirion Rangers. You can activate them to return a forest to your hand to untap a creature. So you can use them in a bunch of ways. He can use them to return his land to get a land tax trigger, and perhaps return a forest to his hand before he casts an Armageddon. He also have 2 Undiscovered Paradise and a Suran Orb. So this list is pretty cool. So let's get down to the action. Alright, game 1. Roy is on the play. He plays a land tax. And I play an Ivory Tower. So here is a good thing for me that I'm on the draw. So he decided not to play a land. And I'm neither playing a land. So now that he has played land number 2, I can also play a land. I'm trying to avoid triggering his land tax. He plays a strip mine on my tropical island. So you can see here I'm gaining a bunch of life with the Ivory Tower for each card above 4 in my upkeep. So I place a factory and a soul ring. And Roy is casting an Erhnamgeddon. No, an Erhnamgeddon. So let's see if I have a mace in hand. No, but I have a drop of honey. So now I can remove one of his creatures in my upkeep. Oh wow, and he plays another creature, a Sarah Angel. So he's really trying to get me down in life here. And here comes the Mace of It. That's a really good draw for me. So now I can remove one of the attackers, so I choose the Sarah Angel. So I only takes 4 damage from the Erhnamgeddon. So here my upkeep, the Sarah Angel is destroyed. This is all going according to plan. So now I have more lands than him, so he can search his library for up to 3 basic lands. So he tries to attack, but I remove the attacker with the mace. He plays another land and passes the turn. And I get a few more lives. And there I remembered the drop of honey trigger, so that's good. So Roy plays a Birds of Paradise and a Quirion Ranger. You can use the Quirion Ranger to return a force to your hand to untap a creature. So that's a good trick with the land tax. He also plays an Erhnamgeddon. Oh, nice. And I cast Control Magic on the Erhnam. He plays a Fellow Stone. Oh, that's a cool card. Killer Bee. It's a 0/1 creature and you can pump it for 1 green. Wow, that's an old classic. I really like that. He gets a fist pump. So here I attack with my Erhnamgeddon, but then I see how many lands he has, so I decided not to attack. So he tries to attack with a Killer Bee, and it gets lost in the maze. I gain some more lives, and life is good. So I really need a second creature to get some damage through. More and more lives. And here comes a clay statue. It's an artifact for 4 mana. You can activate it for 2 mana and it becomes a 3/6 creature. So now I can finally go on the offensive. Yeah. As usual, he tries to attack, and he casts Regrowth. So here I'm a bit afraid of him getting a strip mine back, so I decided to counter it. And here I'll do a little switch. Now the red die is 10 life and the purple is 1 life. So I'm now at 37 life. I didn't have any more dices, so I had to switch. play a second mace. So now I can go on the offensive. And I can use my mace to remove one of the attacker if he decides to block with his killer bee. So he decides to block the Erhnamgeddon. And when he pumps it up, I remove my Erhnam. And he gets 3 damage from the clay statue. So he's counting the lands. You can see he has a sword to plowshare in his hand. And here comes the candelabra. So he cast a sort of plowshare on my clay statue. I have a counter spell in hand, but I'm saving it for the Erhnamgeddon, because that is really devastating if he gets an Erhnamgeddon through. Because my maces are really important for me. The factory as the second attacker. As usual, he is blocking the Erhnamgeddon. And here I can use the candelabra to untap my factory to pump it, so he gets 3 damage. And I can also untap a mace, so that's nice. He plays a factory of his own. Go on the attack again. He's activating his factory, and I cast a crumble on it. He's blocking the Erhnam, pumping it, and the factory goes through. I'm pumping it for 1, so that's 3 more damage. Usually he tries to attack with a killer bee. It's really stubborn. But I do remember my mace. New attack, same procedure as last time. And a crumble. Perfect. Ow, and he has a sword to exile my factory. As usual, I'm not using my counterspell. But now I need a second attacker. So maybe here I could have let the killer bee get through, since I have 52 lives. So he can't block with a killer bee when I attack with my Erhnam. That would perhaps be smarter. But then again, he could return a forest to his hand to untap the killer bee, so I guess it would be the same. And here I place a drop of honey, and my Erhnam is the biggest creature, so his creature is going first. So he's returning a bunch of lands to his hand to search his deck for some more basics. Perhaps he's looking for an Erhnamgeddon. And he decided to scoop. I think he scooped to save some time, because this is a really grindy matchup and it's going to take a while. So let's get back. Alright, game number 2. I'm up a game. It's me to the left and Roy to the right. He starts out with a land tax. I start out with an ivory tower. He plays a Quirion Ranger. So now we can return a forest to untap a creature. So that's what he's doing here. So now the land tax triggers, so he can search his library for up to 3 basic lands. And he decided to only search for 2, I guess, so he won't have to discard that many cards. Plays another Quirion Ranger. And it's going on the Quirion Ranger beatdown. So I play a copy artifact, copying my ivory tower. So now I can get an insane amount of life. But he cast a divine offering on it. And in addition he gains 4 life, and he attacks me for 2. Quirion beatdown. Once again he returns a forest to his hand to trigger his land tax. So he can really thin out his deck. Is attacking again. I'm gaining some life with my tower. I'm up to 23. I can play a clay statue. So next turn I could halt the Quirion attack. Once again he uses his land tax to search up a basic land. And he plays an Erhnamgeddon. Gaining some more lives. There comes the control magic on his Erhnam. That's cool. So he searches up 1 more land with his land tax. Here comes the Sylvan Library. That's a really good combination with the land tax. So he can choose which one that goes on the stack first. So first he can activate his land tax to search his library for a basic land, or fail to find any, and then he gets to shuffle his deck. So every turn now he can look at 3 new cards with the Sylvan Library. So that means that he is drawing a lot better than me. So that's a really good combination. Oh wow, and here I actually used my mana drain on his Erhnamgeddon. I think that might have been a mistake, because his Erhnam would have given my Erhnamgeddon Forest Walk, so I could have attacked for 4 every turn. But let's see what happened. At least I think I did it because I wanted to attack with the clay statue and the Erhnamgeddon. So I put him down to 8 and I cast a time walk. Ah, that's beautiful. So I attack him for 7 and puts him down to 1 life. Of course he could have blocked with the Quirion Ranger, but he must have a plan. So once again, he's failing to find any lands, but he's shuffling his deck to look at 3 new fresh cards. So I'm at 20 and he's at 1 life. Can I manage to do another damage? Here comes the Quirion beatdown again. Put me down to 18. So here he can untap, he can return a force to his hand to untap the Quirion Ranger. So I go on the offensive. He's activating his factory. I'm casting a crumble on it before it gets to block. Oh, and he cast a sword on my clay statue. And I decided to use my counter spell. And here's another sword for Erhnamgeddon. That was the counter spell I've saved for the Erhnamgeddon. So I really went for it here. Once again, he's looking at 3 new cards. Quirion beatdown for 1. Oh no. So this is not good for me. He can destroy my clay statue and gaining 4 life. I think I have a crumble in hand, so I was thinking about destroying my clay statue in response, just to keeping at 1 life. But I guess I decided not to do that. Once again, he's shuffling his library and use the Sylvan to look at the top 3. There's a lot of shuffling in this game. He plays a Chaos Orb. And I play a Desert. So now I can do 1 damage to an attacking creature. So I can finally shoot down those pesky Quirion Rangers. Roy is activating his Chaos Orb, and in response to that I use my Crumble to destroy it, and he gains 2 more lives, so now he's up to 7 life. So this is really not good for me. Looking at the top 3. becomes something big. Ooh, a Serra Angel. So this is not going well at all. So close when he was on 1 and I was on 20. But I guess he had control. I don't remember what I had in my hand here. I'm trying to keep as many cards in my hand as possible to get some life with a ivory tower. But now that is destroyed. The shuffling again. Down to 8 life. I need to do something fast. And I think that was a brain geyser I draw. Yeah, looks like a brain geyser. For 4. Looks like I'm going for brain geyser for 5. So here I'm really hoping for a Mace of It. And of course a drop of honey. So luckily for me I found one of my maces. So now I have to discard a bunch of cards. And he returns a forest. End of turn. And he plays a Suran orb. So now he can he can sacrifice a land to get 2 life. Oh, and here comes the Erhnamgeddon. Wow. Brutal. I have no permanents on the table. I had 20 life, he was at 1 life, and now I'm on 3 life. And I have 0 permanents in play. Wow, what a comeback. Yeah, and I play my beautiful Ancestral Recall just to show off. And scoop. Alright, it's 1-1. Game 3. I'm on the play. I start off with a factory. We are really low on time, so I'm going really aggressive. Attacking with my factory. Put him down to 18. He plays a Sylvan Library. Attack with his Quirion. Attacking and pumping my factory. I rarely play this aggressive, but time is of the essence. So here I'm trying to decide if I want to trade with this factory. And there's a candelabra. That's good. So I'm attacking for 2. I could trade here, because I can't use the candelabra. But he decided to take the damage, puts him down to 12. Plays an Erhnamgeddon. here I could activate a factory and attack and pump it 3 times, so it would be a 5-5. So I think I actually should have attacked there, but we were a bit stressed about the time. Plays a fellow stone and a land tax, and he has the Sylvan library in play, so that's the combo he wants, so I decided to counter it. And here comes the drop of honey, so I can get rid of his creatures before I start to attack again. He attacks with Erhnam, puts me down to 12, and the drop of honey take care of his Quirn Ranger. So here he's blocking with his factory, and I'm pumping mine with help of the candelabra. So the drop of honey takes care of the Erhnam. And here I'm attacking with both of my factory, and I use the candelabra to pump one of them. And he swords it. And he plays a Serra Angel. And here's time, so now we have 5 more rounds to finish this game. So here I cast a recall to get the drop of honey back, and I forgot to discard a card. Guess we tried to play pretty quick here. So he attacks with his Serra Angel for 4, and he plays an Erhnamgeddon. The drop of honey takes care of the Serra Angel. This is Roy's last turn. So I remember this, he is attacking with his Erhnam, and I decided not to use my mace because I had the Mirror Universe in my sideboard, so I was thinking it wasn't out. If I draw the Mirror Universe, we could switch life and I could kill him with his factory, but I forgot that the game was always over. So that was really stupid. So that put me down to 3 life. And he has a Stormbound, or whatever the name is. He can do 1 damage to me for each card in my hand. So now I have 3 cards. And I draw my card number 4. And he casts a Stormbound that he can do 4 damage. But in response to that, I cast Crumble on my candelabra. That gives me 1 life. So then I'm on 5, no, I'm on 4, and I only lose 2 life because I only have 2 life in my hand. So we draw, unfortunately. So that was a long one. I'll see you in the next one.